made back. For what reason? Gonna be under arrest for driving under the influence.
My MacBook, which was missing, and it pinged to an address.
Using Apple's Find My feature, Holland says his MacBook pinged at a Tinley Park home instead.
When you got to the door, what happened?
Well, I was met by him.
Him was Trooper Bradley. You can see the trooper walk out and hand Holland his MacBook. The trooper even opens his garage door to show Holland his state police vehicle.
Imagine getting pulled over. A state trooper tells you he believes you're drunk, and within minutes you're in handcuffs. Your car's getting searched, you're getting taken to jail, and finally after getting released, you realize your MacBook Pro is missing. So you open Apple Find My apps, and your laptop starts pinging at the arresting officer's house. Not the police station, not the evidence locker, his actual house. And somehow after all this, the officer still keeps his job. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys, and welcome back. If you're new here, on this channel we break down real police encounters, legal cases, and stories that make people question how accountability actually works. And today we're talking about Illinois State Trooper Kevin Bradley and a driver named Sherard Holland. According to reports, this happened June of 2024. Bradley claimed he saw Holland swerving on the road. That gave him legal justification to initiate a traffic stop. When he approached the vehicle, Bradley claimed he smelled alcohol. Normally, officers use that as a justification to investigate someone for a DUI. But this is where it starts to get weird. Instead of handling the stop right there, Bradley allegedly told Holland to drive to another gas station. And people immediately started questioning that. Because if someone is truly impaired or not safe to drive, why are you telling them to continue to drive? That contradiction alone raised eyebrows. Once they got to the second location, Bradley asked Holland to perform a field sobriety test. Holland refused. And a lot of people think refusing those tests automatically means you're guilty. That's not true. Field sobriety tests can be challenged in court because they aren't always reliable. Poor lighting, uneven pavement, medical condition, bad weather, even bad instructions from the officer can impact those tests. Now, refusing a chemical breath test can carry separate consequences under Illinois' implied consent law, but refusing roadside balancing test alone doesn't automatically prove someone is drunk. Despite that, Holland was arrested for a felony DUI. He was taken to jail. And while he sat in jail is kind of where the story takes a weird turn and an interesting turn. So let's get into some of this footage.
Last night, hundreds of drivers have been arrested for DUI by the state's top cop, a moniker given to the member of law enforcement who's made the most DUI arrests in the state. But in court records, attorneys have accused the top cop of fabricating evidence and violating drivers' civil rights. Drivers like Sherard Holland.
Doing a favor for a friend of mine.
As the sun rose on the morning of June 2nd, 2024, local restaurant executive Sherard Holland says he was confused when he saw the police lights.
I pulled you over because you swerved.
The son of a Chicago police officer, Holland says he was the designated driver for a coworker after working overnight when he was pulled over by Illinois State Police Trooper Kevin Bradley. After speaking with Holland, Trooper Bradley wrote in his report he could smell the odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from the vehicle.
We're going to relocate.
Suspecting DUI, Bradley asked Holland to continue driving down the road to a gas station.
ABC starts to dig into Trooper Bradley's history, and they found that since 2023, he made hundreds of DUI arrests. A large number of those cases ended up in dismissals, not guilty verdicts, or plea deals. And that opens another conversation. How many people pled guilty because they didn't have enough money to fight? Lawyer costs money, missing work costs money, court dates take time, and sometimes people take plea deals just to move on with their lives. Then people find out something else. Reports show Bradley made nearly $250,000 in 2024. Nearly $250,000. A large portion reportedly came from overtime connected to court appearances involving DUI arrests. Now, to be very clear, there's no evidence proving arrests were made for money, but when people saw the dismissal numbers, the missing laptop situation, and then saw how much money was being made, it raised some serious questions.
No, thank you. I'm made back. For what reason? Gonna be under arrest for driving under the influence.
In this dashboard camera footage, you can see the trooper searching through Holland's things before his car was impounded. Later that day, when Holland needed his MacBook, he noticed it wasn't on his inventory slip. He says he assumed it must be with his car at the tow yard.
I decided to ping my MacBook, which was missing, and it pinged to an address.
Using Apple's Find My feature, Holland says his MacBook pinged at a Tinley Park home instead.
When you got to the door, what happened?
Well, I was met by him.
Him was Trooper Bradley.
He denied it and began to argue with me, and I decided to call the police.
This is a recording of that call.
I have an iMac that was stolen last night.
And what did they say when you confronted them then?
Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
My iPad. How else would I find your address?
And once I called the police, He requested that I hang the phone up.
I'll hang up.
This cell phone video picks up shortly after that 911 call, recorded by Holland's wife, who was waiting in his car.
Under Illinois law, theft falls under statute 720 ILCS 5-16-1. That law says if someone commits theft when they knowingly take unauthorized control over someone else's property with the intent to permanently deprive them of it. Now, I know my audience is old enough to understand this, but let's just break this down into layman's terms. I'm not saying this police officer stole anything. I'm just saying he took someone's stuff without them knowing and didn't plan on giving it back until that person showed up to their house. That's all we know. So if that sounds like someone stealing, I'm not saying he did that. But this is why so many people question why criminal charges haven't happened yet. Because if a regular person took someone's laptop from work, then only returned it after they got caught, most people believe they would be arrested immediately. And to be very clear, Illinois state law says anything between $500 to $10,000 is considered a felony. And if you own anything Apple, we know the cheapest MacBook Pro is probably about $750.
You can see the trooper walk out and hand Holland his MacBook. The trooper even opens his garage door to show Holland his state police vehicle.
It was a very traumatic interaction with him.
A Tinley Park dispatcher eventually called Holland back.
Is everything okay? You're fine?
Yeah, he's a police officer. For some reason, he took my MacBook home with him.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You probably want to speak to a supervisor over there.
That's what Holland did. He filed a complaint with the Illinois State Police, and the I-Team obtained a copy of the state's internal investigation. According to the findings, investigators determined Trooper Bradley never reported this interaction with Holland to his supervisors, nor did he make note of it in his reports. He was suspended for 1 day.
I feel disheartened by that.
And I'm outraged.
Brendan Brown is Holland's attorney.
What if he didn't have the Find My iPhone application?
After months of court hearings for the DUI charges,
The most rewarding thing for me was receiving a not guilty verdict.
a bench trial found Holland not guilty. He's now suing the state and Trooper Bradley. Bradley did not respond to the I-Team's repeated requests for comment, but in court filings, attorneys representing the state and Bradley have argued Holland's lawsuit should be dismissed, as the trooper has sovereign immunity as a member of law enforcement, and that it was a lawful traffic stop.
Trooper Bradley received 1 day suspension. That's it. 1 day. No criminal charges. And the outcome left a lot of people feeling like there's two justice systems. One for regular people and one for people with badges. But I want to hear from you. If you tracked your stolen laptop to someone's house and this was the outcome of it, would you feel justice was served, or would you feel like you were let down by the system? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, God bless, and I will see you in the next one.